What's up YouTube? If you're new here, my name is J.R. Smith. I'm an incoming first-year medical student at the Mayo Clinic. And if you've been following my journey thus far, you may know that I am less than 1 week away from starting medical school. Whew, that is scary to say on camera. But you may also know that efficiency and productivity are things that are pretty important to me, and so I wanted to create an overall environment and atmosphere that would best facilitate productivity for me over the next 4 years. And so I wanted to invest everything that I could and with the resources that I had into an office space that would just kind of become my safe haven for the next 4 years of my life. And I also wanted to create something that not only would serve as the centerpiece of this office space, but also something that would serve as a reminder of my medical school experience. And so with that, I decided to create a desktop from scratch. And now I have never actually created anything before. I'm not into woodworking or anything like that. But since I'll be studying and spending so much time at a desk over the next 4 years of my life, I thought it would be that much more meaningful if that desk is something that I built myself by hand. Now, mind you, I started this project when I lived in Colorado on a 3rd floor apartment that was only 700 square feet.
There we go.
And some slides.
Now in hindsight, after knowing just how difficult it is to actually build a desk, I probably would have waited until I moved from my 3rd floor apartment to my home so I could have more space and actually adequate tools, but quarantine had just started, so I had to find something to do with all this added free time. I ended up choosing 3 types of wood: pine, walnut, and cherry, and the first thing I had to do was sand each side of every board. Then I had to glue them together using pipe clamps and epoxy, which I would learn is like this super glue on steroids. Finally, with Madison's help of course, I organized the boards in an aesthetically appealing pattern and glued them together. Once the glue dried, Madison and I had to sand the tabletop down, and as you can see from us using sandpaper by hand and a hand vacuum, I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. Now we did hit a few roadblocks trying to build this thing on my apartment deck, so we ultimately decided to put a pause on this project until we moved and we had more space and better tools. After moving, I actually had appropriate tools thanks to my father-in-law, like this belt sander, and with access to a drill, I decided to create a hole in the back corner of the desk that would help me with cord management. I also had access to a shop vac, which was definitely more efficient than the hand vac I was using in my apartment, and this definitely sped things up quite a bit. And I even had an air compressor that let me get rid of all remaining pieces of sawdust before I put the finishing coats of epoxy on, which brought out the natural and vibrant colors of the wood. I finished by using a lighter to pop any of the air bubbles that resided because of the epoxy, and this ensured a smooth finish. And then all that was left to do was to let it dry. With my desktop finally completed, I was ready to get rid of my old desk and begin constructing my new office space. Since I only created a desktop and was not confident enough in my abilities to create legs for it, I decided to purchase the standing desk legs from Fully. Even though they aren't sponsoring this video, I heard amazing things about this company and loved the idea of being able to switch between standing and sitting positions while I work. And to maintain a light theme throughout this space, I chose the white legs that look great with the colors of my desktop. I love having the option to stand at my desk, and as someone who will have to stand for long periods of time, both as a medical student and a future physician, I thought I might as well get used to standing for long periods of time now. And since I'll be spending so much time at this desk, standing will pay dividends on my body merely from an ergonomic standpoint. It's also great having presets that adjust the desk to levels that suit me perfectly, and since it's longer than the average desk at just over 6 feet, I can have everything on it that I need without it feeling cluttered. Now what stands out most on my desk is this beautiful 32-inch 4K Samsung monitor. Having an ultra-wide monitor helps in my productivity by giving me the ability to have multiple windows open simultaneously, and the screen real estate is particularly helpful when I'm editing videos. What powers everything is my 16-inch Macbook Pro, which is an absolute workhorse, and I have this almost always sitting in my double vertical laptop stand next to my iPad. Behind this is my charging station for my other devices and the hole that allows all cords to run through my desk, and as you can see, my cord management isn't great, but it's hidden enough for me, and of course, go Duke. In front of my monitor, I have the Apple Magic Keyboard and the Apple Magic Mouse 2 that sits on this reversible mouse pad that has a black and a silver look. In the far right corner of my desk, I have a fake plant for some greenery and a desk lamp that has this really cool exposed light bulb, and I'm able to control this light from my phone so I can easily turn it on or off without having to leave my desk. Above my desk, I added 2 floating shelves so I could have the option of alternating decorative pieces on the wall while maintaining a relatively minimalist look. Currently, one shelf holds the license plate of my first car, and the other has this really cool greenery piece that has a creative and sciencey feel to it. Next to my desk, I have my equally important Zen corner. I wanted a space that promoted a calm and peaceful atmosphere and somewhere I could go to read or meditate. I got this extremely comfortable chair from Costco, my family's second home, and paired it with this gray plush ottoman that just so happened to match the curtains that I have. And next to the chair, I have this really cool floor plant that helps lighten up the room and brings together the overall peaceful vibes of the corner. On the back wall of my office, I wanted to create a source of motivation and inspiration, something that would help create an atmosphere that promoted productivity and put me in a mindset to overcome any potential challenges to working and studying. So I put up items representing my time at Duke and experience as a track and field athlete there, and I also included things representing my fraternity, which helped to add an overall feeling of perseverance and grit to my room. In the back corner of my office, I have a ladder bookshelf filled mostly with decorative things and a few books, but also things that are motivating like pictures of my grandparents and of course, more greenery. And above this is an orbital light that I also got from Costco, which has various color options that help me set the lighting tone of the room. And lastly, I have this shelf that was built into the wall that I covered with a curtain, and I use this to mostly store my camera gear and anything else that I want out of sight. So that is my office space. As I progress through medical school, I'm sure that this space is going to grow and advance as well, but I feel extremely blessed for the opportunity to have this space to work in for the next season of my life, and to have a desk that I built myself kind of as the centerpiece of this office is just that much more meaningful. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I hope you all enjoyed this office tour, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. That really helps, and if you haven't yet, consider hitting that subscribe button and tapping that bell. New videos every week and you're not going to want to miss one. But until the next one, keep evolving, and I'll see you guys soon.